Welcome, beautiful souls, to another episode of the podcast CFP as we rise together. I'm Dr. Gigi, and today I'm joined by the lovely Lauren as we talk about something every dreamer, every healer, and every leader must face. And that is the courage to expand your comfort zone. Poof, poof, poof.
Hey, y'all. Thank you so much, Dr. Gigi. This is such a juicy topic because let's be real, all of us want to grow, but we don't know how to or where to start. So I'm really excited to get into this because um, as much as I would like to do all of this growing on my own, I need a little push, a little boost.
Yeah, I'm with you. And I've been there. Heck, I'm there right now. I think I'm there all the time. And I think, Lauren, the truth is anytime we want something important, be it love, success, purpose, it's just outside of our edges of what feels comfortable. And so today we're really going to dive deep and talk about what it takes to stretch and we're going to have a powerful tapping to help us expand our comfort zone and having the courage to do so. My ask, please like, subscribe, and share this content if it resonates with you. Thank you.
I love a good tapping session. I'm really excited to talk about this as much as it is uncomfortable. It's not within my comfort zone to be this vulnerable. I'm excited to take the leap because I think it's really important for not only me, but for everyone that watches to be able to expand their minds and know that they are capable of so much more.
Yeah, thank you. So let's jump right in and talk about what is a comfort zone. What is it really? And so one definition is that the comfort zone is not just a place, it's really a set of routines, beliefs, and behaviors. And I love that we're talking about behaviors because you are the behavior expert, Lauren.
I am 20 years in the game. Ooh, child. Behavior is everything that we do. Definitely the patterns and routines are a big part of it. And our beliefs uh limit us with what we think we can do and what we're capable of. So those patterns hit hard inside of our beliefs as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so what typically is comfortable for us is something that is safe and familiar. We've done it over and over and over. It's old hat. We could do it in our sleep, but it's what we know we can expect. We know what the results are going to be, and we do it even if they're limiting.
Yes, we do. And I really think it comes down to there's so much, especially now in this time, there's so much chaos. I mean, every day you wake up and it's like, what is it? What's going on? What's going to happen? So if we can control something, the best thing that we can control is ourselves. And a lot of times that works against us, you know. I can only go these places, I can only do these things, I can only have these kind of conversations, I can only engage with these people. It limits us. Yes, we have control over it, but we're not really living, we're not really learning, we're not really growing, we're not really expanding, we're just holding ourselves tight. And it's not serving us or the people around us or our world as a whole.
Yeah. And
Mhm.
I think as an entrepreneur, and I think I'm a relatively new entrepreneur. I've been really I've been an employee for most of my life. And I get being an employee. I can be a great employee, because my people pleasing can turn on and I can impress folks and, all of that. And I can get the accolades, I can get the money and all of that. But doing it for myself, particularly like sales, Lauren, holy moly. And doing those cold calls,
Mhm.
I would rather stick a pin through my eye than get on the phone with somebody. I'm like, oh, my heart starts beating fast. I'm like, people are going to think you're being too salesy. I'm just not comfortable at all doing that. And I don't. I don't do it. I don't do it
Yes,
often.
yes, you freeze up or you shut down. I understand because I have been an entrepreneur for probably the last 4 or 5 years, and I don't even know how to even really describe what it is that I do. When people ask me, everything just goes out the window. I really have a hard time even acknowledging that I want to be an entrepreneur or that I am. It just I talk myself out of everything. Like, Lauren, this is a great idea. This is what you can do. People are going to pay good money to for you to do the things. And then I'm just like, nope, I'm just going to stay a good employee, and because I have control, I know what to expect. But then when I go there, I don't feel fulfilled. I'm good at my job, but it doesn't fulfill me. It's not growing me. It's a whole battle. It's a whole battle. So it's like, why not take a chance on yourself? Why not be your own boss? I really do think it comes down to a
Mhm.
fear belief.
Yes.
For me too, it's a fear of failure, a
Fear
fear
of
of not
success.
being that part too.
Mhm.
That part too. What if things work out? Could you imagine?
Hello.
Could
Hello.
you imagine being happy?
Yeah. Yeah.
Could
Yeah.
you imagine thriving? And it's
Yeah.
like on some
Having all your
level,
needs met.
oh my gosh,
Then we have to give up that racket of complaining.
being stress free. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, you're right. We do. We get addicted to those, again, those beliefs that are limiting and do not serve us. So you're not enough. There's someone out there that's better than you. All of those things, right? This is too
Yeah.
hard.
It's too hard. I'm going to show this image because I thought about it when I was watching one of my favorite shows, um, Love on the Spectrum. I
I
love
love
that
that
show.
show. Oh my gosh.
Yes. Are you able to see the comfort zone?
Yes.
Oh, excellent. And so, what we have in blue is the comfort zone. It's this small area that we feel safe and comfortable in.
Mhm.
And I remember one of the people on the show yesterday talking about expanding the comfort zone. And it was brilliant the way she described it. This young, autistic lady. And she said, my comfort zone is here. And if I just stretch out a little bit, I could be comfortable, like in this yellow area. Just directly outside of this, I could probably do that without a lot of stress and anxiety.
Mhm.
But if I get out way out here in this pink area, it's enough to give me a heart attack. And we rarely do it. And I thought, that was just a brilliant way of explaining that. Because, for me, like to do direct sales, getting on the phone, for me, it's way out there. It's just way out there. I'll do it, but I have to talk myself into it. I have to do quite a
Mhm.
bit of tapping. But, doing, just stretching out a little bit into my expanded zone, I could do that easier and with less stress. And so yesterday, when I was doing some work, I did the cold calls, and then I thought, I don't really have to do this. I could market a different way. And so I just started texting, people, one of my offers. And as I was texting, I was really clear to maintain my energy level to be like, okay, Gigi, you were just sharing. You're sharing, this event that,
Mhm.
people would likely really benefit from. And so get out of that sales mindset, but get into the sharing, something good for your friends and family that they might enjoy.
So you're reframing it. You're
Yeah.
reframing how you see it, what it is. So it doesn't have to be this one singular thing of it's just sales. It can be like you are presenting yourself to people who could benefit from your services, and you are receiving some type of reinforcement for providing said service.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah. And so that worked for me by
that's
just
awesome.
because I guess what I can do to myself is I can penalize myself, really good. And so by just expanding my edge a little bit, helped me to do something that didn't stress me out. And so I found that was helpful.
Thank you for sharing that. As a behaviorist, we have to like look at what deficits someone has, why they're not able to engage in a certain activity or meet a certain expectation, mostly academic. Um, so we have to look at their limitations, but we can also look at what are some other things that are preventing them from doing the thing. Are they um, having too much anxiety? So being able to be aware of both sides of it. What skills am I lacking? What's happening that's too much and preventing me from doing it? That's great. And I really think that it's important to be realistic. So you don't have to do an all or nothing type of thing. And I'm
Yeah.
saying this to myself as I'm saying it to you and everyone else. Like, I definitely think it has to be all or nothing. It
Yeah.
has to be perfect. And if it's
Perfect.
not
Oh my
perfect,
gosh.
it's not worth doing or trying. But then every day I go in and I'm like, I believe in you. You've got this, even if you take
Yes.
the smallest step. So I'm really glad that you shared that with me. Like just taking a little teeny tiny step out of your comfort zone is
Yes.
better than just staying in there in that small tiny bubble.
Yes. Yeah. I'm glad you said that. I
Mhm.
really like a lot of the other points you had brought up earlier, because really you were talking about how fear can disguise itself, as logic or timing. And, I think that's a really good point because fear rarely shows up by yelling, I'm afraid or I'm fearful. It's sneakier than that. It'll show up as, this isn't the right time, or let me wait until I have more money or more clarity or more support, or, I'm being smart by not making this move right now. We can talk ourselves out of a lot of things.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely looking at it now with everything that's happening in our country. I'm like, this isn't the best time to take a leap of faith. The cost of living is going to continue to go up. I have bills to pay. I have, family members to consider and look out for. This just seems stupid and crazy. Like who would do that? And these negative thoughts like just they just seep in, and next thing you
Yeah,
know, I've talked myself out of just anything, of dreaming at all, of expanding at all, and it's really frustrating, and I get sad about it too, because I would never talk somebody that I love. I would never talk
right.
you out of following your dreams.
And you never have,
And I never have. I've been
right?
like, yes, you were completely capable. Let's do it. Let's go. I see it. I see it in you. But
Mhm.
for myself, I just I don't know how that voice got in there, but it's there. And
Yeah,
I put so many limitations on myself that I even am like, girl, snap out of it.
yeah, yeah. When you get conscious about it, right? But usually
Yes.
it's very subconscious. It runs
Yes.
quiet and it takes up residence. Like, You're not doing nothing. Yeah.
No, no. I definitely am grateful though, because one, having a village, and you are a big part of my village, having someone say to you, Lauren, you were capable of so much more. Lauren, you deserve to thrive, not just survive. Lauren, let's do this. Let's have these conversations. Let's talk about it. Let's work through it. I'm really grateful for it because it has pushed me past my comfort zone towards expansion. And I'm really excited about it because no matter how many times you fall down or stumble, it's just about getting back up and moving forward.
Yes. 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 So let's move to another topic about self-sabotage and why staying safe can be self-sabotage. And so, and I call that really stagnation, just staying, in your small
Mhm.
concentric circle. Because when we start to over-identify with safety, and I'm very guilty of that. I love staying safe. As a matter of fact, my safest place is my bed. I love my bed. I've carefully curated my bed. It does a lot of different things and I love it. And so if I'm upset, that's where I go and I get my comfort there. But it's not a place where I can really grow and expand. And so staying safe for too long can really rob you of your dreams. It'll rob you of your youth. It'll rob you of your energy.
Mhm.
And, staying too long can really, chip away at your own self-trust, your own confidence, and your own growth. And sometimes the longer we wait to do something, the harder it becomes to believe that we even have the capacity to do it. And to me, that's the biggest thing that erodes, our dream. When we start disbelieving that we can do it, or even
Mhm.
disbelieving the dream. What do you think about that?
Oh, you said a lot. So you said a lot. Definitely self-sabotage can look like a whole lot of things. It could be telling ourselves no just out the gate anytime we have an idea that deviates from what we've been taught and what we have been doing for so long. Like I've been in my field for 20 years. I have a master's degree. I have been at my current job for almost 10. I was taught you go to school, you get the degree, you get the job and the benefits, and you stay until it's retirement. And I keep I keep thinking like this isn't working for me and this isn't filling my soul. But this is all I know. This was the map that I was given. So to deviate from that just feels very scary. So that's where the fear comes in.
Yes.
It's like other people have done it, but I don't it doesn't it match up with everything that I've seen and learned in my lifetime. The programming
Yeah.
that's like deeply ingrained in me. And every time that I deviate from that roadmap, there's this level of discomfort that comes with it, which I'm learning is fear and anxiety.
Yes. Yeah.
um that I can push through it. And at the end of the day, I have to ask myself, but did you die, Lauren? No, you might anytime I deviate, I didn't die. I learned something different. But I really do think that self-sabotage looks like you just talking yourself out of deviating from everything that's new and unknown,
Right.
whether it be in routine, in thought process and belief, in community, in habits, in environment, all of those things, it's scary.
It
So I
is.
think that self-sabotage is that fear and anxiety talking you out of making change. But what I've learned is that change happens regardless.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Shift happens, not SHIT, but SHIFT. Shift happens
Yes.
regardless. I mean, change is happening all around us now. And
Yes.
it's when you know who you are and what you're capable of that determines how you land or move during that time.
Yeah. Yeah. I appreciate you saying that. I call the stress and anxiety resistance. And
Mm,
to me, resistance can show up a lot of different ways because it's about killing the dream. And it can show up like getting sick, staying sick. I remember being in my bed for years, years
mm,
in my bed, years, because I was just too scared, to move forward. So I understand when people get sick,
mhm.
especially at those convenient times, or get into an accident,
Yeah,
or yeah,
yeah, yeah.
or or decide to come up with any number of projects,
Or
and I've done
focus
that.
on someone else or something else.
Yes,
So
yes.
distractions,
Distractions. Yes,
um, like instead of fixing ourselves, we might find someone else to fix
yes.
or help or work on, especially in relationship, that might
Yeah,
be the thing. Or like like talking yourself into, well, again, like life decisions, um, marriage, family, buying a house, doing the things that, and going like, well, everybody else is doing it. So that's what I should be doing too. But that might not be your calling. It might
right.
not be for you.
Yes,
And, again, when you say resistance, resisting, thinking outside of what you've been taught, what you've been shown, what's been fed to you. I
true.
should be here in my life, the checklist. This is where I should be in my life in this moment. This should be who I am, the shoulda, coulda, wouldas, all of those things. You're right.
Yes. Well, we've got about three live guests. Hi, Beverly. Hi, Michelle. So good to see you. Love to see your comments. Thank you. We'll try to get some of those live, but right now there's a little glitch with the comments, so we're not able to respond to the comments, but we will after, after the recording. But we're so grateful that you're here.
Thank you for being with us. Yes.
Yes, yes. So now let's talk about this idea that courage doesn't mean fear goes away. It just means you do it anyway.
Hmm.
So I want to talk about what courage is and how we might be able to define courage in a way, especially for entrepreneurs and the healers, the creatives and coaches in particular, those highly sensitive beings that, are emotional, are sensitive, are really concerned about how other people feel. And so again, courage isn't the absence of fear. It's the decision to move forward anyway, with fear in the back seat. And you're like, hey, yeah, I see you right there, but I'm gonna keep you back there. And share that, fear is natural. It's meant to keep us safe. But especially when we're expanding into new territory, we're expanding, beyond the edges of our existing comfort zone, it doesn't have to be the driver. And so sometimes when I feel the fear, I'll say something like, yeah, I'll start tapping. Yeah, thank you for sharing that. And I know you're just here to protect me, from preventing me from going off the rails, but we're going to do it anyway. I'm prepared, I'm ready, let's go. And sometimes that works, and sometimes it doesn't.
I
What
have
are
a
your thoughts?
I agree. I really think that, well, the definition of courage, pushing past those beliefs and doing the thing anyway. Yes. I agree with that wholeheartedly. It is harder or easier said than done for a lot of people, depending on how intense those past beliefs or those limiting beliefs are and the anxiety that comes with it. Having a toolbox of coping strategies, that right there is the ticket. And again, when I am writing IEPs for students or talking about goals for students, we don't write a goal saying you're going to do it 100%. We say, depending on what goal you set for yourself and how many limitations you might have towards that goal, going like 10%, 20%, 30%. So I think it's really setting a goal for yourself that you can really reach. So right now I am restarting my fitness journey. I'm not going to go every day for 3 hours and work out. I'm not a gym rat. I'm just not, doesn't mean I don't want to be or that I will be, but I want to be healthier regardless.
Mhm.
So I'm starting with, 2 times a week. That's doable with a friend, with support.
Yeah,
So setting some type of realistic goal for yourself, and I'm being successful at it. And
yeah.
not only that, I'm being reinforced by my friends, and
Hmm.
it's a social activity, and I get to cheer them on, and it's mutually beneficial. So it's taking a small step that really really matters in the grand scheme of things. And sometimes you do need someone to help you be courageous in this moment. Like, I probably wouldn't go live by myself, but being here with you, being able to reflect with you and converse with you about things that I really am passionate about, that right there gives me the courage that I wouldn't have on my own.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. And I'm so glad that you are offering some new services, some new behavioral services. So you do IEPs for kids, and now you're going to be doing something very similar for adults. Now, the cool part about that is, you know, ladies, gentlemen, if you're interested in any kind of change, be it to your personal life, your professional life, maybe you want to get more fit, maybe you want to drink more water, maybe you want to experience less stress and anxiety with your partner. I mean, it could look a lot of different ways. So the great thing about Lauren's new offering, and she's going to talk a little bit more about that at the end, is that she's including the power of AI along with her own expertise. She's got decades of expertise in behavior.
Yeah.
And, she's offering this service. It's affordably priced and it'll help you move the needle forward. It'll help you change those things you need to change. It could be that you don't want to have diabetes anymore, which means you want to, engage in an exercise program or a wellness program. And we talk about, starting small, those small steps. And that leads me into our next segment. And it's called A Small Stretch Can Result in a Big Transformation. Meaning we don't have to go out and be a phenomena. Yeah, yeah. And so I want to
Might not be big.
yeah, why not? But just, little tiny step,
Yeah.
a little tiny step so that your own self, your inner child, your subconscious can start trusting you again. That if you say you're going to do something, you do it. And so I want to encourage our listeners to stretch just a little bit. It doesn't have to be a huge leap, not saying any of that, but just a little kind of thing. Say yes to that opportunity. Ask for help.
That's a
You
big
know,
one.
yeah, post your
Asking for
truth
help.
online.
Yeah. Finding community is a big part of it, because a lot of the thoughts that we have about ourselves, when you talk to other people, just like we're talking right now, you find that it's more common than not.
Yes. Yes.
You're not the only person to fear change. You're not the only person to doubt yourself. You're not the only person to um want more but not feel worthy.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, so it's really a time for us to shift and to have courage to
Yes.
expand.
Yes.
Yeah,
And so, speaking about having the courage to expand, let's do an emotional freedom tapping right now to expand our comfort zone, to help us feel comfortable doing that. And so this will take about 2 to 3 minutes. And so if you're interested, just do what I do, say what I say. But first, let's everybody rate, how much courage do you have expanding your comfort zone right now? On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 is completely peaceful, calm, and zen. 10 is heart racing, high stress and anxiety, like, this is making me feel really kind of, out there. So get your number. We're going to do this tapping. I'm going to ask you the question again, how you might rate on that same scale, 1 to 10, and hopefully your score goes down lower. If it doesn't, do the tapping again. Keep doing it until you can get some peace and calm in your inner spirit. And when you have peace and calm, it's on. You can do whatever it is that you want to do. So, does everybody have their number?
I do.
Excellent. So just do what I do and say what I say. Karate chop point. Even though I'm scared to leave what's familiar, I deeply love and accept myself.
I deeply love and accept myself.
Even though stepping outside my comfort zone feels risky,
Even though stepping out of my comfort zone feels risky,
I choose courage.
I choose courage.
Even though I want to play small and stay safe,
Even though I want to play small and stay safe,
I honor this feeling and gently expand.
I honor this feeling and gently expand.
Eyebrow point. I want to grow,
I want to grow,
but this fear feels so real.
but this fear feels so real.
Side of eye. I've made a home inside my comfort zone.
I've made a home inside my comfort zone.
Under eye. What if I'm not ready?
What if I'm not ready?
Under nose. What if I fail?
What if I fail?
Under mouth. Or worse, what if I succeed and lose myself?
Or worse, what if I succeed and lose myself?
Collarbone. It's okay to feel this tension.
It's okay to feel this tension.
3 inches below the armpit. It means I'm stretching.
It means that I'm stretching.
Top of head. I choose courage over comfort.
I choose courage over comfort.
Let's take a deep conscious breath, inhaling through the nose, visualizing a white, peaceful light. And now exhaling through the mouth with an audible sigh, everything that is not peace and love. Now we're going to tap in some empowerment. Eyebrow point. I am open to new possibilities.
I am open to new possibilities.
Side of eye. I can handle discomfort and still move forward.
I can handle discomfort and still move forward.
Under eye. I am made for this.
I am made for this.
Under nose. Expansion is part of my purpose.
Expansion is part of my purpose.
Under mouth. I trust the process of growth.
I trust the process of growth.
Collarbone. I am worthy of what's on the other side.
I am worthy of what's on the other side.
3 inches below the armpit. My comfort zone is getting bigger.
My comfort zone is getting bigger.
Butterfly taps. I am courageous.
I am courageous.
I am worthy,
I am worthy,
and I am certain about all of it.
and I'm certain about all of it.
Release the tapping, and let's take one last deep conscious breath, inhaling through the nose, visualizing a white, peaceful light, allowing that white, peaceful light to circulate through every cell of your body. And now releasing with an audible sigh everything that is not peace and love. Cool. So that was just a short tapping sequence. How are
Love
you
it.
feeling now? And what is your number? Hopefully it's gone down. So I want to know how much courage do you feel about expanding your comfort zone now? One is I feel pretty peaceful and zen about it, like yeah, it's going to happen. 10, heart racing, high stress and anxiety. Where's your score now?
It's a 3.
It's a 3. Where did it start?
Ooh, an 8.
Okay, so you went from
Yeah,
an 8 to a 3.
I did. I did.
Wow.
I know.
Congratulations. That was like a 50% reduction.
I know. I'm excited about it. I haven't done tapping in a while, but I love it. I personally love it. And every time that I do experience it, I automatically feel better. And I have to remember to incorporate that more in my day-to-day routine.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
does make a difference.
it really
And
does.
and it really challenges all of that negative self-talk and those beliefs, and taps into your sensory,
Yeah, yeah.
you know.
It,
So yes, thank you.
yes, yes. So, yeah, I think we're probably getting close to closing. I want to leave with a quote from Jenny Rometty. Growth and comfort do not coexist. So if you are interested in growing and developing personally, professionally, or spiritually, you really got to expand your comfort zone. You've got to be willing to expand and challenge your beliefs, as particularly those limiting beliefs about people, places, and things.
Yes.
Open to, unlearning and relearning something new.
Thank
And go ahead, I'm sorry.
um thank you, Gigi. The tapping really brought me back into my body. And it's not just about pushing, it really is about trusting.
Yes, yes,
It
yeah.
really is about trusting. So um I want to continue to like push through. We got this. We can all do this together. This is a journey. What did they say? It's not a sprint, it's a marathon.
A marathon, exactly. And we can
Yeah.
stop, we can pause, we can revisit, we can do a lot of things. Um, so anybody out there, listeners, hopefully this has been something that you have learned and grown from. And if you're looking for a deeper dive, I've left there's a link below to connect directly with me if you want to do some tapping, if you want the Boundary Badass book. It will help you say no without feeling guilty. And if you're looking to do some behavior change, Lauren is your girl. Lovely Lauren is your girl. And so I'll give you an opportunity to share right now about your behavior offerings or your services and offerings.
Okay, I'm gonna try to do this with courage. Y'all, I want to help people. I want to be a beacon for self-love and for self-actualization and change. And currently, that is me just offering whatever it is that calls to you. I am a behavior consultant, so I am very well versed in assessments of behavior and writing behavior plans to meet goals and expectations for growth and success. So if you have any questions about that, let me know. I have worked in special education for over 20 years. So if you have questions about that, I'm your girl. I also am a level 1 and 2 Reiki healer, and I'm wanting to expand my practice. So if you're interested in Reiki, I'm your girl. I also offer sound healings with typically crystal sound bowls. So if you are interested in receiving a sound healing, I'm your girl. I also offer tarot and oracle readings. If that is something that you are interested in or curious about, reach out to me. And I also collaborate with Gigi. We offer a lot of different spaces for healing. I am involved with New Vel Healing, which offers Reiki and massage services and other spiritual healing sessions. I want to move forward and expand and serve and help and heal. So please, if you're interested in receiving, having discussions, collaborating, let me know.
Excellent, excellent. I am so excited. Well, I think that pretty much wraps us up. And so I just want to end with this last quote. Um, if you're feeling uncomfortable, it doesn't mean you're doing something wrong. It could mean you're growing. So thank you, and look forward to seeing you around the same time every Sunday. So thank you. Take care.
Thank you. Bye, everyone. Peace.